Good evening. Welcome to the 2022 Senior Athletic Award Ceremony. Before I get started, I want to acknowledge our Athletic Booster Club for this nice deal we had tonight. The decoration, setting everything up. There's a group of them, which I'm going to acknowledge their names and say their names because they do a lot of work for us behind the scenes. I'd like to acknowledge Chris Fernandez, Joe Johnson, Chandler Francois, Janine Alexander, Holly King, Joyce Bacchiati, Kelly Powers, Sherry Serrato, Chris Gardner, Reno DeCanto, and Marissa Smith. Thank you guys. I'd like to start the program with introducing our superintendent of schools, Dr. Kim Schaefer-Hood. But before she comes up, I want to say a few words. I'd like to say that it's nice to have people above you in your corner and pro sports, and she was 100% pro sports. She'd always constantly be asking me, what do you need, what can we get? And since she's been here, I'm just going to give you a rundown of some of the things she's done, and it's been more than this. Under her tenure, we have a new baseball, football scoreboard, which is state-of-the-art, a new basketball scoreboard, a new softball scoreboard, new bleachers in the gym for serious money. We have a new softball field, upgrade on a softball field, a new fence, an upgrade on our track. That's just to name a few of the things under her tenure that we got through. And she would always, she would always ask me, what do you need? And it was nice to have someone like that in your corner. She will sorely be missed by the athletic department. Awesome.
Good evening. From the time you stepped on the field as an 8th grader to your final game in your high school career, you've worked hard, you've demonstrated dedication, integrity, and sportsmanship. Without a doubt, you've led your teammates and your school with pride. You have my sincere thanks for representing Wareham with honor and dignity. I would also like to thank our coaches, our bus drivers, the ticket takers, the athletic director, our administrators, and all personnel who worked the games, not only for you. If it was not for you, our athletes would not have this opportunity. Each and every one of you deserve the accolades that you will receive tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Schaefer-Hood. And next up is our principal, Mr. Scott Palladino. Again, I'd like to say a few words. It's again, I have somebody that loves sports, that's on the athletic side, and he's always willing to help and always listening to me, and we're always having conversations about what we can do better to improve the athletic department, and it's nice to have a resource like that. Mr. Palladino.
Thanks, Mr. Roberts. Had a chance before this meeting to meet with our great coaches here at Wareham High School, and I'll tell you, it got me back in the feeling like I want to coach again. I had the pleasure of coaching here at Wareham High School for 10 years, 3 sports, and I'll tell you, it was some of the fondest memories I had. I still today get emails from the student athletes that I coached. Every few weeks I'll get one. Sometimes it's just to zing me, sometimes it's just to see what's going on. Sometimes it's to celebrate a milestone in their lives. So it's been a great run, and I've really enjoyed that part of my life, and hope to someday get back into that. But we're here tonight to celebrate all the student athletes, and I'm really excited to be here. And I just want to thank a few people. Some of them have already been thanked, but as you know, Dr. Schaefer-Hood is our superintendent, and she'll be leaving us at the end of this school year. And as Ed mentioned, she's just been a huge resource for our student athletes in our athletic program. And Ed listed a few of the things that she's done and helped us out with. But even beyond that, she's at the events, she's supporting the student athletes. She does it. Sometimes you don't see her, and she's there checking on things and helping us out. Dr. Schaefer-Hood, you will be missed, and we appreciate everything you've done for all the student athletes at Wareham High School during your tenure. So thank you. You know, our athletic director is a part-time athletic director, but he works full-time. But I can tell you, he only gets paid part-time. And we're very fortunate to have a retired teacher as our athletic director who coached for many years and has done a lot of things in New Bedford for the basketball program there during his tenure. And he works tirelessly for the student athletes. There is so much that goes on behind the scenes. And I can attest to this because as assistant principal, I had the pleasure or misery, depending on how I look at it, of being the athletic director for 3 weeks during the end of a spring season. And I will tell you, I was also the assistant principal. It was ridiculous, the amount of phone calls I got. The weather seemed to rain every day, buses not showing up, buses not being there on time. It was awful. And Ed just does this seamlessly without ever complaining and making sure he does the best he can for our student athletes. So that I want to thank you for all that. The person who you probably never met, who ultimately is always behind the scenes, is Ed's secretary, Sandy Barboza, and she is really the one that keeps things moving fluidly. And I know we wouldn't be in the position we're in now, from the athletic standpoint, without her support. So I certainly want to thank Sandy Barboza for all of her efforts behind the scenes. I know she's not here tonight, but I just want to mention her name. So thank you, Sandy. Ed mentioned all the Booster Club members, but they do so much more than just put on this dinner. They are the ones working the concession stands, supporting the students, supporting the coaches when they need something, and really making sure that our student athletes have the extras that the school just can't provide. And I just want to, I know they've been recognized, but I want to thank them as well one more time. Parents, I want to thank you, because as a parent of a freshman in college and a soon-to-be high school student, I know the commitment that you all have made. Getting up early, arriving at school late to pick up the students, bringing them to the various events, not just for high school, but in the off season as well. And I know it's been quite a commitment for you all, and I know the student athletes appreciate it. Without your help, I know they wouldn't be here. So a round of applause for the parents, please. I mentioned the coaches, and we have some of the finest coaches in the conference, and I had a great chance to meet with them earlier and had an awesome conversation with them. And they are working extremely hard behind the scenes to make sure we have great programs, and you have the program that you can be proud of. And many of you play multiple sports. I just want to thank as well the great coaches we have at Wareham High School. Last but not least, the student athletes. You are role models for all the students at Wareham High School to emulate. And the way you carry yourselves in the hallway, on the fields, on the courts, is just awesome to see as a principal. And I've had a chance to see quite a few sporting events this year, and I look forward to seeing a few more this spring. And I just want to thank you for all that you have done to contribute to the success of Wareham High School, and for the commitment that you've shown throughout the years. So let's have a round of applause for student athletes. The last piece I have to the student athletes, I hope you look back on your experiences as being a student athlete at Wareham High School with fond memories that will truly last you a lifetime. 20, 30 years from now, I hope you look back and have the conversations about the great experiences you had in various sports. And the good news is you only get better with age. All right, you're always going to be an all-star as far as we're concerned, and you can certainly elaborate on that. But it's a lot of fun seeing our athletes after they graduate in the town, around the town, and just having conversations about the experiences they had in school and on the athletic field. So congratulations, tonight is your night. Let's have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Palladino. Next part of our program, we're going to honor our captains. If all the captains could please get up and line up in front of the food over here, straight up, line over here. We'll call your name, you'll get your plaque, and then walk out this way. I'll call each one of you up and escort that you are a captain of. The captains come on up, please. Line up over there. In front of where the food is. Now I'll call your names. Come up and get your plaque, and please walk out this way. I want to take a picture of the desk plaque. Go ahead. All right. First captain, Sheridan Bancroft, volleyball. Seamus Braley, tennis. Mackenzie Broadley, tennis. Ben Brajoli, soccer. Braden Brophy, baseball. Marina Cadena, softball. Mia Cromwell, basketball cheer, football cheer. Kevin DeCalvis, indoor track and field, outdoor track and field. Carly Delgado, field hockey. Megan England, volleyball. Michael Enos, unified track. Winifred Kakidis, volleyball. Garrett Goodman, indoor track and field, outdoor track and field. Chloe Hogan, basketball cheer and football cheer. Bridget Irving, basketball cheer. Ariana Judge, softball. Riker King, ice hockey. Jenna Clem, softball. Alton McCain, unified basketball and unified track. Madison Murphy, indoor track and field, outdoor track and field. Madison Peckham, field hockey. Laura Pinkston, basketball, soccer, and softball. Julia Pomerleau, basketball cheer and football cheer. Olivia Powers, soccer and tennis. Karen Rose, baseball and basketball. Andre Sylvia, football. Brendan Vega, football. Abby Wixton, indoor track and outdoor track. Luke Wiley, soccer. Nathan Wiley, tennis. Catherine Young, soccer. One nice hand for all our captains. Nice hand for our captains, please. And then call the senior varsity athletes to please come on up and do the same thing. And we'll call your name and your sport. Same thing, we're going to call you up. Again, senior varsity athletes. First one, Sharon Bancroft, volleyball. Candace Peach, volleyball. Mackenzie Borley, field hockey and tennis. Ben Bajoli, indoor track and field, outdoor track and soccer. Maya Brown, field hockey and softball. Evelyn Chase, field hockey and indoor track. Ian Cleve, baseball, field hockey, ice hockey, indoor track. Chase Cologne, baseball, basketball, and football. Marissa Corrier, indoor track, outdoor track, and volleyball. Mia Cromwell, basketball cheer, football cheer, and outdoor track. Ebony Calvis, indoor track, outdoor track, and soccer. Carly Delgado, basketball cheer, field hockey, indoor track and field, outdoor track, and softball. Paul DeLuca, football. Megan England, volleyball. Amira Elsay, unified basketball. Paige Gallarado, tennis. Cedric Georges, soccer and tennis. Dorian Glisper, basketball. Adrian Gomes, basketball cheer and football cheer. Gary Goodman, indoor track and outdoor track. Lawrence Hendricks, baseball and football. Chloe Hogan, basketball cheer, football cheer, and tennis. Bridget Irving, basketball cheer and volleyball. Ariana Judge, basketball cheer, football cheer, and softball. Emily Keating, volleyball. Riker King, ice hockey, outdoor track, and soccer. Jenna Clem, field hockey, indoor track, and softball. Haven Lopes, basketball and football. Tyler McIver, unified basketball and unified track. Alton McCain, unified basketball and unified track. Kingston, basketball, soccer, softball. Olivia Powers, soccer and tennis. Julia Pomerl, basketball, cheer, and football. Louis Roman, baseball. Jaron Rose, baseball, basketball, and football. Andre Sylvia, baseball, basketball, and football. Caitlin Trask, volleyball. Austin Tripp, baseball and football. Brendan Baker, football, indoor track and outdoor track. Abby Winston, indoor track and outdoor track. Luke Wiley, indoor track, outdoor track. And Catherine Young, soccer and softball. One nice hand for all our athletes, please. Before I move on to the last part, on Monday, May 23rd, at 5:45, we will be having a dedication to the softball field, and the name will be changed to regular softball field to Lance Howlett, a successful softball coach here for many, many years. So the ceremony will be at 5:45, followed by a softball game, and then the seniors on the softball team will be on it at 6 o'clock before their game is born. Hopefully you can all come out and see this. So 5:45, dedication ceremony for Lance Howlett. The last part of our program is the trophies here. These are voted on by the coaches and myself. And with these awards, we have a coach come up and coach the person and say some things about them. The first one is going to be the Leadership Male Award, and the coach that's going to speak is Marissa Smith.
Thank you, and good evening, everybody. Before I give or present the award for this, I'd really like to recognize all of the seniors in this room, because as coaches, we get together and consider the different awards and consider the athletes, and this year was very, very difficult because we have so many athletes that have done so much for the programs that it made the decisions very difficult. So if we could give them another round of applause. Too, when I do these kind of speeches, I can cry sometimes, so bear with me. All right, so tonight I'm pleased to be presenting the 2021-22 Male Leadership Award. I've had the pleasure of knowing this student athlete since he was in elementary school. As a high school student, he demonstrated his leadership as captain of both sports he participated in, unified basketball and unified track and field. This athlete has shined in his role, leading with humility, heart, and a sincere commitment to helping others succeed. This athlete never boasts about his own accomplishments, and because he's so humble, one might miss all of the ways that he leads with excellence. I'd like to take just a few short moments to share with you what we as coaches have seen from this remarkable young man. Although he led the team in scoring, rebounds, and assists, including scoring 44 points in a victory over ORR, this athlete would never tell you about his stats. Rather, you'll hear him talking about his own teammates and the amazing things they were doing on the court. His words, though, are just an extension of his natural leadership. And despite being such a prolific shooter and defensive player, he spent the majority of the time on the court encouraging his own teammates and creating opportunities for everyone to score. There would be times where he would be pulling down rebound after rebound after rebound, and rather than just putting up the easy basket himself, he'd be looking for opportunities to dish the ball out to his teammates so they could score. This commitment allowed every single one of his teammates to experience success, putting up points for their team and smiles on their faces, yet somehow the brightest smile was always his. He's a remarkable young man. As a member of the unified track team, this athlete also stood out to Coach Cashner, who shared that he does things for his team and coach naturally without being asked, and is so helpful in teaching and supporting his teammates. He offers positive praise consistently and seeks to make others around him better, and all of us are. This student athlete displays all of the qualities of a leader. He is respectful of his teammates, his coach, his opponents, and the officials. He's a balance of both intensity and integrity. He exhibits both discipline and diplomacy. I've never heard him once complain or utter a word that was not helpful, kind, or in the spirit of friendship. Rather, he's always equipped with words of encouragement and high fives. He is one of the greatest student athletes I've ever had the pleasure of working with, and truly, everyone is better when he's around. Again, this year's group of seniors is chock full of talent, sportsmanship, and dedication. They have displayed excellence in their skill and their commitment on the field, the court, and the track. This group has also displayed some of the greatest examples of leadership that Wareham has seen in so many years. So it is with great pleasure that I announce the Leadership Award chosen from this excellent group of senior athletes goes to Alton McCain.
The next award is the Female Leadership Award. It will be presented by Jess Sweat, our girls tennis coach, who is currently undefeated.
So the older I get, and I was pretty old, the less words mean to me. So I give short speeches. When Ed called me and told me that I was going to be asked to speak about leadership in one individual in particular, I put down the telephone and my immediate reaction was, oh great, only about a zillion people have talked about leadership. Every word they've said is probably been forgotten. And all I have to do is come up with a few quotes and say wonderful things about a certain individual and I'll be done. And then I rejected the idea. I have lived my life believing in servant leadership, which is to say, even though I think I have about at least 3 bosses here in the room, I have never cared much about what my bosses thought. I've only cared about trying to help the people for whom I was responsible. And if I did that well, then everything else took care of itself. Now you may be saying, that's a lot to expect from a high school junior, senior, for them to even understand or believe in something like servant leadership. All I can tell all of you is that it works. Don't worry about the people above you. Just help the people below you in the organization, whatever that is. I met this young woman a long time ago. She was a child. She was just coming out of her 6th grade year and decided that tennis would be a fun thing to do. And she was surprisingly good at it. And I tried to separate her from the other people who were trying to learn tennis. She wanted no part of it. To her, even as a 12-year-old, the team was far more important than her own position and her own advancement. I was really impressed. And so I respected her wishes. The good news is she kept getting better. And she's played 1, 2, 3, 4. This is her 6th year as a varsity tennis player. Now you may say, how's that possible? Well, there was a time when we weren't undefeated. And there was a time when we actually got waivers to get people from the middle school. And this person, along with a few others, flourished. So I'm going to skip 6 wonderful years. Although I will tell you that this is a person who has, and it hasn't gone to her head, and you athletes will understand what it must be like. Since she took over as a captain in her junior year, she has never tasted defeat. Think about that. Now, the team lost once during that period of time, but she as a captain has never faced defeat. Did it affect her personality? Did she walk around like, oh, I'm God's gift to Wareham High School? No. As a matter of fact, the second and last story I will tell you is that I have the team elect captains. Now, there's all sorts of theories about whether that's a good idea or not. I have to confess, although I have never done this, I always say that you get to elect the captains, captain or captains, but if you make a bad choice, I'm going to do something about it. In 18 years, I've never had to do that. So they always have chosen well. But this young woman now, young adult, was the top vote getter by a little bit. And it was an extraordinary team. As Marissa said, we have some extraordinary young individuals sitting in front of me right now. And I remember going to her and saying, so you can be captain all by yourself because the team voted you that way, but there was someone who was really close in the voting, and I'd be happy to make you co-captains. To say she didn't pause would be an understatement. Oh, no. I want a certain individual to be co-captain with me. Why? That was the beginning of this young woman understanding servant leadership, because she knew that would be best for the team. So I have the greatest admiration for this young woman, the greatest admiration for her parents, who have developed this young woman long before I got involved, and the 9 months of the year are the ones who are impacting her life. But it is a privilege to give the Leadership Award for the female student body to Olivia Powell.
The next award is the Unsung Hero Male, given by Evan Holder, our boys soccer coach.
All right, I actually wrote a speech for my first time in 7 years, so if I look down, I'm probably already getting mad at myself, but here we go. It is my honor to speak on behalf of this terrific athlete and person. I have known this player for 5 years, and in that time, he has progressed into one of the most well-rounded athletes that I've coached at Wareham. His work ethic and drive to get better in everything he does is unmatched. This soccer season, his hard work finally paid off with our first ever MIA tournament berth. It was something we had worked towards for 4 years prior to that. And he could tell you that we struggled a lot his first couple of years. Whether it's on the soccer field or the track, this kid gave it everything he had day in and day out. Even from the initial 8th grade year, where he was a bit undersized and lacked a few small parts of his game, he made sure to make strides each time he stepped on the field. It's through this kind of dedication that I begin to see that he was destined for a big jump as a player the past 2 seasons in soccer and track. In his junior and senior seasons, we were able to check off some massive milestones for our programs, Gardner and I's. He leaves Wareham with some of these accolades that are crazy to say now because I didn't think they were possible when I first started this job at Wareham, especially with the difficulty of getting people, especially in soccer, for any major awards. So this is a huge thing. He was the Standard Times Super Team, Standard Times All-Star, SEC All-Star. He broke the school record for assists. He had the first SEC wins in over a decade for our school. School record for wins in a season for the soccer program, and again that MIA tournament berth and multiple track banners after they just locked up their second one. Along with that, Coach Gardner gave me the heads up that this kid is probably in line to get another award from the Standard Time. So a crazy list of accolades for a kid that obviously deserves it. Overall though, this kid is a truly remarkable athlete and human. There are not many kids that come through and leave a profound effect on your athletic programs like he did. I'm proud to say that I had the honor of coaching him, and I know that he will go on to do great things after college in Worcester, which is a great city. I wish everyone other kid would go there. I hope to see his brother follow in his footsteps next season. He's got to grow a few size shoes, but he might be there. It's my pleasure to introduce your winner, Luke Riley.
Next is the Unsung Hero for Female, and our field hockey coach, Molly Kozlowski, will introduce.
All right, so I'm here tonight to recognize a player who has taken pride on and off the field. This specific player, without knowing both Coach Courtney and I, welcomed us with open arms into our program. Her passion for field hockey was definitely evident even before we got the chance to meet any of our players. And with having such a small team, we actually went from 12 to 17 players in 2 weeks because I know Carly was right there recruiting everyone, telling them how much fun it was. That you could really pick up the sport easy, and she definitely lied about how much running it was. But most of them had never picked up a stick before. She was always willing to put in the work behind the scenes. I remember after a tough loss, one of her teammates felt like she didn't play well, and she asked me if the two of them could practice on one of their off days, which is pretty much who Carly was. If you were down on yourself, she was there to pick you up. She pushed herself and her teammates to be the best that they could be. Win or lose, she always stayed positive. After games, always offering words of encouragement. She was dedicated and disciplined at practice, always keeping in mind that as a leader, she was a role model to all the younger players. She took pride in also being a teammate, which sometimes meant, maybe an assist instead of a goal, but at the end of the day, she knew we were all working together towards the same goal. And only knowing her for this past season, throughout this season, I've seen her confidence grow, not only as a player, but as a young woman who is definitely stronger than she thinks. I want to thank her for putting her trust in me and Courtney as first-year coaches, and I look forward to watching her grow through college. Even if she wasn't always recognized, she remained consistent and positive, and she will be greatly missed. And that's why I'm proud to recognize Carly Delgado tonight as the female Unsung Hero.
The next 2 awards are Sportsmanship Male and Sportsmanship Female. And I'm going to have Coach Chris Gardner track coach who's also undefeated at this time in boys outdoor track, come up and do both. So, Coach Gardner.
Thank you. I had the pleasure of meeting this young lady who's receiving the 2022 Female Sportsmanship Award tonight during 8th grade year at Wareham. I happened by chance to have her in my world history class, and through her student questionnaire I give every student, I knew she was an accomplished gymnast. The student questionnaire is a way for me to get to know what the student's interest is, but it's really a way for me to recruit people to the track team. In my time as the head coach of the track and field squad at Wareham, I have had several accomplished female athletes who were former dancers and gymnasts, so I did my due diligence and recruited her to come out for the team. She was very reticent and I think a little intimidated by my energy and excitement for the sport, so I did not get her out for the squad until her freshman year. This young lady gave everything she had to the track and field program in a way which is often not seen or generally expected. She was a 5-time letter winner and a numerous honorable mention conference all-star while also receiving many team awards. Sportsmanship can be defined in many ways and actions, and when someone walks off the field after a competition, you really cannot tell whether they won or lost, and they carry themselves with pride either way. That is sportsmanship to me. This young lady conducted herself this way for her entire athletic career at WHS. She carried herself in a way which immense a friendly confidence, respect, and a sense of certainty in her step. Another aspect of sportsmanship is showing teammates how to be successful in the classroom and on the track. One of, if not the biggest contributions to the track and field program was how she showed other student athletes how attainable success was, all while upholding a great amount of respect for her sport, her teammates, and the competitors. In the 5 years I've known her, I've seen this young lady mature as a person and as an athlete, becoming the epitome of what a student athlete is and should be. With each year, she has established herself to be reliable, consistent, and a strong presence in both athletics and the classroom. It is my honor to present the 2022 Wareham High School Female Sportsmanship Awards to young lady who will be continuing her academic career at the Wentworth Institute of Technology, Madison Murphy. What more can I say that has now already been said about sportsmanship? I think the presenter before me did an excellent job. With that being said, the 2022 Male Sportsmanship Award goes to, no, just kidding. I do have some stuff to say. I first heard of this young man before I even met him. His friends came to me during their freshman year to tell me he wanted to come out for the squad and he would be perfect for the team. I was excited, and I told him to make sure he signed up. There was only one little thing that kept him from joining the team. He didn't go to school here. So flash forward to the fall of 2020, and the aforementioned student is now a junior in 2 of my history classes. Having the fall 2 season because of COVID was the best thing for this young man, as he's able to have 2 seasons of track and field back to back, where in a normal season sports year he would not have because he plays a different winter sport. As I stated earlier, sportsmanship can be defined in many different ways. For this young man, sportsmanship was displayed through his newfound love for track and field, which was shown through his commitment to fair play and ethical behavior, integrity, and general goodwill to his opponents and teammates. His teammates enjoy having him on his team, and he is always making friends with his opponents right before he defeats them in competition. There is, however, one thing he does which infuriates his teammates. As he excelled in his first 2 seasons becoming a South Coast Conference All-Star and continued to excel this spring season on his way to another All-Star season, the thing that his teammates cannot stand about him is that every time he tries a new event, he picks it up pretty easily. No matter what event it is, he does it pretty well, and it does make the other teammates kind of upset. Although I think we might have found his track and field kryptonite, distance events. All kidding aside, this young man is a great ambassador for the sport and would do anything for his teammates to help them get better or to win a meet, which is why he's very deserving of this award. It is my honor to present the 2022 Wareham High School Male Sportsmanship Award to a young man who will be continuing his academic and athletic career at Bridgewater State University, Riker King.
The next award is the Optimus Award. This is for dedication, loyalty, and citizenship. Again, Coach Edmund will come on out, make a presentation.
All right. Funny story. This is a small world story. My wife was actually coached by this kid's dad. And when I first heard stories about this coach, I heard about him throwing chairs in the locker room, snapping clipboards over his knee. So you can think that I expected to get the Tasmanian devil, like, you know, an unstrung kid. Thing is, he was not that at all. He's a calm, cool, collected. I've never even seen the kid get flustered, so I don't know how the apple fell that far from a tree, but it worked out for me because I got a great athlete out of it. Now, you can probably already guess about who I'm talking about, but if you don't, the name is literally all over the school. And with that comes a reputation, and this kid lived up to it. He is, without a doubt, one of the most gifted, hardworking athletes I've ever coached. Not only that, there is not a time where he said he could not do something. He's the kind of kid that will go out the field, do what he's supposed to do, come off the field, not say a word, and come right back the next game, the next practice, every single time. He's also the kind of kid that's nice enough to pick up a kid that he knocked out cold in the soccer game on accident. So with that kind of personality, you can see he's a coach's dream. Just knowing that family in general through my wife first, and now, you know, I've known them for 5 years. This whole entire soccer team I've had for 5 years. That's something that it's great to have, and I hope I keep making these kind of these dreams come true for these kids going forward in soccer. Because again, he was part of the same thing that Luke Riley, that Kevin, that Riker, that all these soccer guys, Ian. They accomplished something that no other soccer team has done, and we couldn't have done it without him. Again, he'll probably I assure he'll be an all-star for track again. Coach Gardner, I'm sure, could have done this speech just as well as I am. He could say all the same things I'm saying, but I got the privilege to do it. That kid that I'm talking about is none other than Benjamin Dejala.
The next award is the Joe Caprarella AD's Award. Contributed most to Wareham High School athletics. And our girls basketball coach, Kyle Herrick, will come on up and introduce the athlete.
So I'm probably the last person in here to be able to talk about this person. She's touched so many programs, and she's had such an impact across so many sports here. And she's also my only senior, so I'm not going to pretend that nobody knows what I'm talking about. Laura Pinkston's winning this award tonight. This is my second season coaching the girls basketball program here, and while nothing about these 2 years has gone according to plan, the one thing that's been consistent for us is Laura Pinkston. I'm not going to talk much about her stats, though she does have impressive numbers in many categories, but it's not what this award is about. This award is given to the student athlete who's contributed the most to Wareham High School athletics, so I want to talk about what Laura has contributed to our program over my 2 years with her. When I met her almost 2 years ago, she was as quiet as they come. The initial feedback that I got on Laura coming into this was that she was softer than her size. She didn't quite play up to what you might expect at first. That she had a lot in her, but she wasn't quite getting there yet. If you were drawing up the ideal scenario for a competitive high school athlete to enter into for our senior year, our program would have checked none of the boxes. We were young. Laura was our lone senior. We were inexperienced with 6 players playing at the high school level for the first time, and of course COVID. And this was coming off the back of the shortened COVID season the year before, in which we did not win a game. It would be easy for anyone on our team to check out, mentally or physically, in a situation like that. And quite honestly, some did. As the season wore on, it would be especially easy for a senior to check out and start to look toward their future on and off the court. But Laura did anything but that. I keep mentioning this specific story when I talk about her at the end of our season, because I think I'll probably remember this visual for as long as I coach, or as long as my brain keeps working. Late in the season, we were losing games regularly and losing those games by a lot. And in one particular game, and Laura never wanted to come out of any single one of those. She led us in minutes played all season long. In fact, she often could not wait to get back on the court. And I remember being in a timeout and we were losing by 20 plus. Laura's quick off the court, grabs her water, she's sitting on the bench, eyes are this big, she's shoving water as quick as she can, and her foot is just tap, 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 tapping. Like, this girl could not wait to get back on the court. Everybody on the other side of the floor, sitting in the bleachers, was probably waiting down at the gym. But Laura was just like desperate to get back on the court and keep playing. I love those moments. Those moments where a player tells you who they are, shows you who they are, and she doesn't even know it. Like, it's just who she is and who she's been for us. So when I think back to what I initially heard about Laura, I can only say that I just do not know that player. I do not know that person. There have been few players that I've coached here or elsewhere who have been as mentally tough as Laura, and that was especially true in her senior season. And let it not be overlooked that Laura isn't just tough, but she isn't just a lone senior who stuck with it. She's also a really good player. She was a 5-year varsity basketball player, a 2-time captain, and that culminated in her being named a South Coast Conference Honorable Mention, a Standard Times All-Star. In addition to being our team MVP, she led our team in every shooting percentage and counting statistic for the season. She's a 2-year varsity softball player, 4-year varsity soccer player, where she was also a captain and SEC Honorable Mention her senior season. And she's helped raise thousands of dollars for breast cancer research and families in need throughout her time as an athlete at Wareham High. Even as we as a program struggle to find our footing and build the foundation for our program, we would be in a significantly worse position without having had Laura Pinkston. While she remains quiet, and kind of I wish that she got to talk about this award herself when she came up here, but she wouldn't. She's not going to have her name on any win records or scoring records. She has had a massive impact on our program. She's part of the DNA of what we're building, and we would not be where we are and where we're headed without Laura. I imagine that if any of her other coaches were able to speak about her tonight, if they do, they would say pretty similar things. She was as impactful a player as you can get. I appreciate having had the opportunity to have coached you, Laura. So this program is better because Laura Pinkston was a part of it. So Laura, congratulations.
Next is the Outstanding Senior Male Athlete, to be presented by Coach Gardner.
Hi again. I had the pleasure of meeting this young man during his 8th grade year at Wareham. Through his soccer coach at the time, I was able to get him and his friends to come out for the indoor track and field squad. For those that knew him back then, he did not look like the elite athlete he is now. I'm pretty sure the amount of product in his hair weighed more than he did, and it was the only thing keeping him on the ground during windy practices. He was definitely a little shy, but very eager to try every event as long as it was not distance. Now, unlike other sports, track and field is not something everyone goes up playing. Hey Johnny, you want to come over to my house so we can play track and field? Said no one ever in the history of mankind. So as it is for many people, this young man's first season started off slow, but by the end he was running some decent times, running under 8 seconds in the 55-meter dash. His first outdoor season was a little unremarkable as he was adjusting to the different events he improved throughout the season. It was during his freshman season where I saw that there might be something special about this young man. His times and distances improved dramatically. He followed that up with a stellar sophomore indoor season, which would have catapulted him to a great outdoor season, but then COVID. It was during his junior year where he made his greatest strides. His statistics speak for themselves. During his junior and senior year, he went undefeated in the 55-meter dash and 300 during the indoor season, and won the event won the 55-meter dash and placed second in the 300 at the conference championship. At the divisional meet his senior season, he placed 4th in the 55-meter dash, breaking a 14-year-old school record in the process, while advancing to the all-state meet and also placed 6th in the 300. He was also voted the SEC League MVP by the coaches of the conference, a feat which has not been done before by a Wareham track and field athlete. During the outdoor season his junior year, he went undefeated in the 100 and 200 meter sprint events, winning the 200 meter dash and placing third in the 100 at the conference meet. A 6-time letter winner both indoor and outdoor track and field, a sport which has the hardest standards to achieve a letter, a state qualifier in the 55, 300, 100, 200, 400, long jump and triple jump, 4-time South Coast Conference All-Star and a 4-time Standard Time Super Team member. All these athletic accomplishments are outdone by the work ethic example he has set for the squad, the dedication to his sport, and the leadership he's provided to his team, as he was also a 4-time captain. A short little story, when he broke the record, it was probably, I want to say, everyone on the team was a lot more excited about breaking the record than he was. Not that he was upset about it, he was just unbelievably humble. When we told him, like, you broke the record, he's like, cool. Like, that was literally, that's how he said it. He's a very modest person, very humble, never one to, at least in front of me, brag or boast about his athletic accomplishments or anything like that. It's my honor to present the 2022 Wareham High School Male Athlete of the Year Award to a young man who will be continuing his academic and athletic career at the Wentworth Institute of Technology, Kevin DeColvis.
And the last major award, Outstanding Senior Female Athlete, Coach Cashin, come up and speak awards.
I'm sorry my voice isn't as pleasant as Chris Gardner's, because I listen to that all day. So, it's like NPR. This year's Outstanding Female Athlete of the Year might be one of the most unique recipients in that she managed one of the most impressive statistics I can think of as a coach and as a teacher, but I'll get to that in a minute. I've known this athlete for 10 years and have coached her for the last 5. Each year, I watched her become more confident and strong on the field and on the court. While she's not overpowering or flashy, she is one of the most consistent athletes I've ever coached. I'm confident that she is capable of playing every position in all 3 sports she participated in, even point guard. Her versatility is unmatched. With that, she has acquired a high level of game sense in every sport she plays. She has grown into one of the most important players on the field or court through her tireless effort and ability to consistently perform, regardless of fatigue, injury, or unfavorable score. Her basketball coach noted that she never wanted to come off the floor, even when losing by 40 points. In soccer, I remember asking her if she needed a sub during a game a couple times, to which I got, who, me? No. Or the infamous look of disapproval. This athlete's desire to compete was relatively quiet, but fierce and undeniable. Having played 3 sports for the past 5 years at Wareham High School, this athlete has undoubtedly earned this award through her commitment not only to her teammates over the years, but to the Wareham youth as well. She has participated in youth events and clinics in soccer, basketball, and softball throughout her high school career. She has a natural ability to connect with younger kids, which has propelled her to become an elementary teacher in the future at Bridgewater State University. While this athlete is a gently fierce competitor, she has been a patient leader and role model for all of her teammates, both on and off the field. When on the field, of course, she is consistently making friendly conversation with the other team, helping them if she knocks them down, commending a good play, or apologizing for blocking a player's shot in her face. As coaches, we always want our players to compete and be aggressive. This athlete does this in the most gracious and friendly way. I'm pretty sure she has formed lifelong friendships with some of the players from the other teams throughout the league. I will speak for all of our coaches that have had the opportunity to coach her when I say that this athlete shows up. In her time at Wareham High School, she has played in 15 seasons. During those 15 seasons, this athlete never missed a game or a single practice, even early Saturday morning practice. To me, that is one of the most impressive statistics that I've ever been able to report. She was always there. As a teammate and captain, she would always make sure everyone had a ride, and if they didn't, she would offer them a ride. Well, she would ask her mom to drive them home. Still. This athlete has endured some tough seasons and several coaching changes over the years, she has continued to be a player that we as coaches could rely on in a game, at practice, or in school. This athlete has taken advantage of every academic opportunity she possibly could. She participated in the 8th grade dual enrollment program, as well as the Bridgewater State University dual enrollment program in her senior year. She's maintained perfect attendance and high academic achievement throughout her high school tenure. Nerd. I have found that many of Wareham High School's top female athletes are some of our highest academic achievers. The class of 2022 is no exception. It seems that while our female athlete population is small, their ability to effectively balance it all, school, sports, family, work, Snapchat streaks, you all find a way. I believe that establishing the ability to balance life at such a young age will only better prepare you for what's next. This female athlete, student athlete, has proven that she is ready. She is the ultimate teammate, a fierce but caring competitor, and a role model for all student athletes. I have enjoyed coaching her throughout her high school career and believe that she will leave behind her legacy of showing up for her teammates and always wanting what is best for the team, even if it means she misses out on the headlines of public recognition. As a parent of future female athletes, I hope for them to be just like you. I am honored to present the class of 2022 Outstanding Female Athlete of the Year Award to Laura Pinkston.
Okay, this basically almost concludes our program. I would like to thank my secretary, Sandy Barboza, outright, because without her, I would be lost many times. And she does stuff at home for me, whatever is needed, and that's how things get done. And also, I want to talk about our coaches and our players and our trainer, Stephen Cook, who went through 2 years of COVID. I'm not sure you understand what some of these kids went through. They had to wear masks, they had to come in different doors, they had to distance themselves, open the windows on the bus. And they did this for 2 years, and they did it pretty successful. I would think our program was one of the best around for doing that. And the first time this has ended was in the spring. So these kids went through a lot, the seniors here, and I applaud them for that. And I thank them and our coaches for the hard work and all the stuff that they've done because of this. Hopefully now we can head in a positive direction, and over the next few years, get even better. Thank you for tonight.